So this is a tutorial that was guest filmed by my brother, so the narration will be divided among the two of us. And to start the link shield, you just want to Google link shield template, and you should come up with a bunch of these little templates. And you just want to copy one of them and put it on a paint file or something similar and enlarge it so that it will print out in several pages the size that you want your shield to be. And so then you'll just want to trace around the outside of that onto a piece of that thick EVA foam, the kind that they make the foam mats out of that you stand on.
And now we take our handy dandy mat cutter and cut her out. Our basic shape cut out. Next thing I'm going to do is sand all of this, the back here, to get all these, I don't know even what you call it, but I want it gone, so I'm going to take a sander and smooth it out.
And so then just cut the outer ring out of your template, and you'll just trace that onto another piece of EVA foam on the outside and on the inside. And once you've got that traced, you'll just cut it out, just like that, and it should fit right over the other piece, the bigger piece that you cut out. And then if you want to, you can just, same thing, chisel off the design on the back side. And so then you'll cut all the pieces of the bird out of your template, right there, the little paper pieces, and you just want to transfer them onto a piece of 2mm craft foam and cut them out of that.
Okay, now as you can see, I finished all these pieces here. I'm gonna wait to glue them on. At the moment.
So then take the triangle piece and put it on a piece of that thick EVA foam, and you want to cut around it so that the sides are tapered so the bottoms are larger than the top, just like that.
Okay, now as you can see, I've finished up this, and I'm gonna move on to these circles here. Just made 3 circles on this just 3mm foam, or foamy. I'm just gonna come out with a pair of scissors because they're so small, or thin. Okay, now hopefully you saved this piece here. We're gonna start working on these pieces here. Now to shape this is going to be a little tricky and almost a little bit of pain. First thing you're going to do is cut off the edge here. And let's see. Best way to do this. Now I'm just going to try and cut into this here. And at the same time just press down at it and keep that angle. Just like that. Okay, now after you've done both sides, you should have a piece that kind of looks like a miniature Star Destroyer. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, anyways. Now this one here, you just kind of eyeball as best you can. Towards the edge. Voila, you have your oddly shaped pyramid. And you just want to do that twice until you have both of those pieces there. Okay, and once you get all your pieces forged, just line them out in here, and you need to trace them onto there so you know where to glue. As you can see, I already glued this piece here. And a good way to align them is to use your template. And I've probably showed you this before, but this here is a contact cement. I think I used in a couple other videos, but I'll show you again quickly. What you do is take your piece and you slather it up in that contact cement stuff. Trying to get too thick. Then you take a piece that's going to go on. just throw it on there. Alright, now once your pieces are dry to touch, that there. Take your piece and plop it on there. Okay, now again, as I say, there's no real science to this. I just took 2mm foamy, drew my basic pattern here. I'm just gonna glue them on there with contact cement. Okay, now that we have the shield completely done on both sides, we're going to bend it. But to do that, I kind of need both hands, and it's hard to do it right in front of the camera, so I'm not going to film that. But I am going to show you how I do it. This is little link shield I just whipped up to show you the basic idea. Going to put my mask on to not absorb any of the fumes. I'm going to heat it up with a heat gun. Take it, bend it over pretty much anything really. And you just have to hold it there for a while. And voila! We have our shield bent. One thing I was going to say though is that because I hope you use contact cement to glue your shield together, because if you used hot glue, the heat gun will melt it. One way to get around that is to heat it up first and shape it, and then add all the details on. But I prefer to do that afterwards. Another thing to remember is to wait. I usually wait about 24 hours before I heat it up after adding the contact cement, otherwise it'll come apart. Now I get to do this to the big version. Okay, now I went to Lowe's. They got this 1/2-inch pipe of plumbing and PVC pipe, and I got these pieces here. Just going to I don't know if you can quite see it or not, but it's got this rough edge here and these words here. I'm going to sand and Dremel that off, make them smooth. Then I'll connect them to the 1/2-inch. I'll cut the pipe. Yeah, I'll cut the pipe to about the length of my hand, and I'll have a handle for the back of the shield. Apparently I'm going to put the camera down for this part. Alright, now what I'm going to do is take this piece of foam here and just heat it up with the heat gun. Nice enough. Now, what you do is take your handle, just press down into there, and keep pressure on it for, I don't know, a couple minutes till it sets. Okay, now as you can see, this is the imprint, the piece made on the foam here, and you can just pop that into there, put a lot of glue in there. You can see, like, I can just lift it up like this. But anyways, it won't stay, so if you pour a lot of hot glue in there, and you just glue your pieces together, and you have your stuff. Okay, now as you can see, I just went ahead and popped that handle on after, yeah, just popped it on. It's pretty solid. There's not much point actually gluing it. And this stuff here, I didn't really put too much thought into this. Just kind of took some scrap foam, made a U, glued it on there, and covered it in 3 coats of glue. And now we're just going to Plastidip it. 3 coats of this, and then we can paint silver and black. And voila, it is all painted. As you can see, I skipped a couple steps with the paint, or painting it, but it's very simple, pretty self-explanatory. Just spray paint one layer at a time, mask it off, and then do the next. Yeah, I just painted the back black, just for the fun of it, I guess. And I use this, just loop the belt here through these loopholes I made. Probably buy one with the Salvation Army or something, and just voila, like that. Get yourself a shield.